Hello students, welcome to your computer classroom. So in the last class we have discussed about the exercise of chapter 5. Now before moving to the next chapter, and that is about the HTML, let us do a revision of few of the chapters. So if we start the revision, let us start from chapter 1. So today we will discuss the chapter 1, which is about computer software. So we have already discussed these things. We will take a overview and the important things which we have already discussed in the previous classes when we were explaining this, so that you can recall it. So first is, what is software? So software, you know that software is, in a layman language, that software are the, you can say, the programs or the instructions. Clear? So these programs which are made for running the computer, so these are some release of related instructions. Clear? And the purpose of this is to perform some common task. Clear? So here you can see the same, that softwares are the program which consist of series of related instructions organized for a common purpose, and this tells the computer what tasks to perform and how to perform them. Clear? So it is the software which instructs the computer that what work the computer has to do, and not only what work, it will also give the you can say the instructions step by step. Using these instructions the program may function. Clear? For example, if you have to do any calculation, then what will be the process of that calculation if you are using any software. Clear? So these software are also some programs using the instructions or some you can say programming code they are made, and in that the step by step instructions for performing all these things are provided. So now this software, you can say, acts as a bridge between computer hardware and computer user. Clear? So if there is a computer and there is a man. Clear? So this software will act a bridge between these two, the computer and the man. Clear? So this way the software provides the interface, it provides, you can say, it acts as a bridge so that the user and computer can interact. They can give the instruction, the person will give the instruction, then the software will using the software the person will give the instruction, and using those instructions the computer will perform the task, and when the output is obtained, again this output will be provided to the person back. Clear? So this way the softwares as act a bridge between the human and the computer. Now these the interface using which the user interact, that is called as user interface. Clear? So the user interact with the software through its user interface. Clear? So user interface, basically, as we use the windows, the different icons which we use, the mouse pointer, then there is some graphics. Clear? So these tools options which we click, which through which we give the instruction to the computer, these are called as user interface. Clear? Now the user interface is also of two types, we will see further in this chapter. So the today's these days the computer which we are using, these mostly these are all the graphical user interface, because we have the uh, text, graphics and visual images. Clear? Which are also known as icons. So these are the different interactive method which is provided by the you can say by the user interface, so that a user can interact with the computer. Next is, what are the different types of software? Clear? So let us move to the next, that is, what are the different software varieties. So first is package software. So what is the meaning of package software? The package software are those which are copyrighted. Clear? So copyrighted software which is available on the stores as well as on the internet, but if you are using if you are purchasing these softwares from the internet, we will need to pay some price. So package software are those softwares which are provided by some specific companies, and they are copyrighted, and we will have to pay some money for purchasing these software. For example, any of the Windows operating system, the Office suite, means the different components of Office suite are MS Word, MS Excel. So these are different package software which are provided by the companies, and will have to pay some money for this. Next is custom software. So custom itself means a software which is, you can say, which is modified according to the particular need of a person. Clear? So here it is written the same, that if you want a particular software for your need, then you may ask programmers to develop and design custom software for you, which usually cost more than a package software. Clear? So custom software or customized software are those software which are specially designed as per the need of a specific person or a company. Clear? So if a programmer will design any software especially for an organization or an individual, he may ask some more cost for making that software. Clear? So this is the feature of custom software. Next is web application. So web applications are those software which you can say which are accessed through the internet. Clear? For example, the different services which we are using, like email, the different word processing software, Excel sheet. Clear? So these are online available these days also, which for example the Google Docs. Clear? So Google Docs have different options in that for writing the text. Then there is a spreadsheet option. So these are the different web softwares which can be accessed through the internet. Then various game programs are also available. So web application, by the web itself you can understand that these applications, or application here, the app is the short form for application. So you can see this as web app or web application. So application are basically the software which are customized or which are made for as we use the different mobile app also, in the same way we have the web app similarly. Next is open source. So what is open source? Open source, basically, as the name itself it is saying, that the different, there are some source code, means the language or the programming code in which these softwares are written. So if we can do modification in these codes and we can use them without any means restriction, so this is called as open source software, and usually they are free of cost and can be downloaded from the internet. Clear? So different open source softwares are like Ubuntu, that is a Linux based operating system. Then various other websites are these days open source website. For example, if you see the example of Wikipedia. Clear? Then this way the open source technologies are gaining popularity these days, because there is a community behind that which believes in providing the source code, and each of these things available for the needful. Clear? So there are various persons who don't have the facility of these, means they cannot purchase the software, they don't have the access for these things. So these community provide these things free of cost, as well as the source code of that is also available. So you can do modifications in those source code, and you can make your own version of softwares as well. Next is shareware. So what is shareware? The copyrighted software that is distributed free of cost for a trial period. Clear? So basically shareware is for sharing any of the things, and these softwares when provided, they will be free for only a trial period. So after number of 4 5 trial, when you have accessed the software for these number of times, then the software asks you to purchase the license or to upgrade the software. Clear? And this can be done by making some payment to the software developer or to the specific company. Clear? So these such type of softwares are called as shareware softwares. Clear? Next is freeware. So these, what are the freeware softwares? These freeware softwares are the copyrighted softwares which are provided at no extra cost by individual or a company that retains all right to the software. So freewares are those softwares which are provided free of cost, but they are copyrighted software. So this is the difference between open source and freeware. In the open source, the source code is available to you. Clear? And here also the software can be provided free of cost, but in the freeware, if it is, maybe the software is provided without some money, but here the source code or the program which is written, so it is copyrighted. You cannot see the source code or you cannot modify them. Clear? So this is the meaning of freeware. Now coming to the next, that is what is registration and activation of the software. So registration, basically when you purchase any software, then we need to register the software, so that whenever you need some technical support from the software manufacturer, you can contact the specific developer of that. Clear? Then you need to, for registration, we need to submit our name, some personal details, your contact number. Clear? So this is the process of registration. Then what is the product activation? Product activation basically is when we the different software manufacturer, when they make the software, so they sometimes they give some activation key. Clear? Then these activation keys are only provided when you pay some price for that, when you purchase the licensed version. Clear? So by using these methods, the company ensure that the software is only running on the persons who have purchased the software. Clear? So if you don't activate the software using the authentic key or the authentic license, then the software will not function. Clear? So these product activation methods are usually done to you can say to stop the piracy. Clear? And so that only copyrighted things can be accessed, and this process of activation can be done via internet, as well as you can also purchase from the different stores. Clear? Next is types of software. So let us see the next, that is type of software. So these softwares are basically divided into two types, that is system software and application software. So system software and application software, we have seen earlier also that system softwares are those softwares which are designed to operate the computer. Clear? For the processing of computer, these are used, and they, you can say they control the different hardware devices, and it provides the interface between the user and different. So here you can see this picture which is given here. So here the system software is interacting with the hardware at one end, and at one end the user is giving the instruction. Clear? So the user interact with the system software with the different application softwares. Clear? Or different application, for example, if you are using any software like MS Word, MS PowerPoint. Clear? So these softwares are the applications which you are using, and these applications will be installed on the system software. Clear? So let us see these different types of system software. So if we see the different types of system software, the different types are operating system, device driver, and utility program. So what is operating system? Operating system is the system software which enables the computer to do some work. Clear? And it is the first, you can say it is the first software which is installed on the computer. For example, the Windows operating system. So when you purchase any hardware, that is the computer, we need any operating system. Not only the computer, if you are using any of the mobile phone also, there you have some operating system. Clear? So these operating system enables the, you can say, the computer to function. Clear? And these operating system make the hardware to interact with different other hardware devices. So suppose the computer you have, if you are attaching any other external device like mouse, keyboard, then if you are connecting your mobile phone with the help of USB cable, so these operating system is the software which controls these functions. Clear? So it allocates the time for different programs if you are running the different things. So here we have the different functions of the operating system. So you can see, like, the first time you start the computer loads the operating system from the hard disk. Clear? So these operating systems are stored in the hard disk, or also you can boot from pen drive as well as the CD, that is compact disc. So this process of transferring the operating system from external, you can say, storage device to the computer memory is called as booting. Clear? And we have seen that this booting is of two types: warm booting and cold booting. So I hope you know that warm booting is the booting when we restart any computer. So already existing, already running program, when it is restarted, it is called as warm booting. And when you open the computer when it is shut down earlier, so for the first time if it is opening, then it is called as cold booting. Clear? So this way, this is the concept of booting. The next other features of the operating systems are, the operating system lets you give commands to the system. So you can delete old document or move a file from one folder to another using the operating system. So this operating system enables to do all of these file related activities. Clear? Then the operating system tells the computer to run an application software such as word processing or graphics application. So using the operating system, because of these operating systems only, we are capable of running different application software. Next is, the operating system acts as an interface or a link between the user and computer hardware. And these interface which we are talking about, so these are of two types, that is command line interface and graphical user interface. So what are these two interfaces? So first is command line interface. So command line interface basically is the interface where we only have the commands to give. We don't have any, you can say, graphics or icons, menus there. So whatever the instructions which we are giving, there only will have a screen, and we will need some, you can say, commands to give for instructing the computer. If you see example of this, let me show you. So you have heard about the DOS operating system. So similarly in the command prompt, if we see here, it appears like this. So whatever the instructions, these are the different commands which are used in DOS. Clear? So here you can see we don't have any menu or any of such, you can say, graphical interface. Clear? So whatever the instructions which we will need to give, we will have to write those commands only. So as per the different the command line interface, it can be of different colors background. So here you can see the black screen is there, and whatever the instruction you have to write, we will need to write that instruction in the form of these commands. Clear? And we need to know these commands. If we know the commands, only then we will be able to give the instruction. If there is any error, if the spelling of these commands are not uh, proper, if they are not correct, then we will not get the desired result and it will give you the error. So this is also, you can say, the limitation of these interface, that we if there is any missing, here it is talking about the same, that minor errors such as a missing dot or any of the comma, so these will also cause the error message. Clear? Next is the graphical user interface. So graphical user interface, as we know and use as well, the different Windows operating system, the different application software which we use, they have different menus, images, icons, buttons. Clear? So these are all the graphical elements. So in the graphical user interface we have this facility and we don't need to memorize the different commands as well as the syntax. So this is the advantage of the graphical user interface, that it is easy for the users to interact using these user interface. Next is the different categories of operating system. So when we talk about the different categories of the operating system, the basic categories of the operating systems are the standalone, then server and mobile operating system. Clear? So what is the meaning of standalone operating system? Standalone operating system means those operating systems which are made to run a single computer device. Clear? For example, any notebook computer, desktop computer. Clear? Or the mobile computing device. So these are called the standalone operating system. So these standalone operating system are also called as client operating system. Clear? So the standalone operating system means the system which you are using, if it is a single and if it is not connected with any other server or something like that, so that is called as a client. Clear? So the different client operating system examples here are Microsoft Windows, Mac OS, which is the operating system developed by Apple, then Linux and Chrome OS. So these are the different standalone operating system. So here in the next topics it is discussed about the same. So Windows operating system, this is developed by Microsoft and it was launched in the mid 1980s. Clear? And we all know the different persons who are associated with the Windows operating system. You have heard about the Bill Gates. So he is one of the founder member as well as the CEO of these uh, the conglomerate of these Windows operating system. Then this is, earlier there was some uh, means the first version which was launched. So from then onwards the graphical user interface keeps on upgrading. So the different versions of these Windows operating system, like Windows 95, Windows 98, 2000, then Windows XP, and these days we are using the Windows 10, and before this Windows 7, Windows 8. So these are the different operating systems which were provided by the Windows. So Windows is the part of Microsoft. Then the next is Mac OS. So Mac OS is the operating system which is developed by the Apple. Clear? Which was the first Macintosh computer was released in year 1984, and the different here the standalone operating system are, you can say that these are the multitasking operating system, means we can perform multiple tasks together, and these operating systems are of high standard and they also usually cost more than the other operating system. Then the next is Linux operating system. So as we were talking earlier about the open source, So here in the same way, Linux is a popular free multitasking operating system, and in addition to the basic operating system, Linux also includes many free programming languages and utility program. So Linux is a open source software, means we can use and see the source code of these operating system. We can change and modify in these codes. Clear? So here you can see that the code is available free to the public for use and for modification and redistribution. So if you want to change in these operating systems, you can make your own version of these. And the different you can say the distribution of these Linux operating systems are like Ubuntu, Mint, Fedora. Clear? So these are the different you can say the popular versions of these Linux based operating system. Clear? Then the next, if you see in the know the facts, it is talking about that the operating system, they reside in the hard disk of the computer, but you can also use the different flash drive like USB drive and the optical drive like CD and DVD for booting of these computers. Clear? But in most of the cases, these operating system reside inside the computer, which is the hard disk or different mobile devices. Clear? Next is update your knowledge. So read this as well. Then purchasing a computer or an application, you must ensure that it works with the operating system installed on the computer or the mobile device. So if there is any operating system installed in the computer, so if you are purchasing any other application software, so we should purchase those applications only which are supported in the operating system which you have. The operating system that a computer uses sometimes is called the platform because applications are set to run on top of it. So these operating system are also known as the platform. Why they are called as platform? Because they provide the interface on which only you can install these other application software. Clear? So with purchased application, their specifications will identify the required platforms or the operating system on which they will run. So this is what it is talking about, that whenever we are purchasing any of the application software, we should first ensure that it is supported by the operating system which is installed on the computer. Next is the Chrome OS. So Chrome OS is the you can say operating system which is introduced by the Google, and this is also a Linux based operating system, and basically the Chrome OS is used for the different web applications, and the laptop which has this Chrome OS is called as Chromebook, and the desktop is called as Chromebox. Clear? So the operating system is Chrome OS, and according to the device, the device name is, if it is on the laptop it is Chromebook, and if it is a desktop having the Chrome OS it is called as Chrome box. Clear? And this is introduced by the Google. Next is the server operating system. So all of these, the earlier which we have seen like Windows, Linux and Chrome OS, these were all the standalone operating system which was only for a single device. Next is the server operating system. So server operating system basically means the operating system which are made to run or to you can say to operate the server and client model. So server and client model is the system which a user is using, that is called as client, and that is in a network with some powerful computer which acts as a server. Clear? So this interlinking between server and client is called as server operating system. Clear? So the different operating systems for the server operating system are Windows Server. Clear? So Windows also provide the Windows Server operating system, which is a cloud based, as well as the different website can be made using these Windows Server operating system. Next is the OS X server. So this is a Apple based server operating system which can be used to sharing files, hosting website, managing mail servers. Clear? So these are the different operations or use of these OS server operating system. Next is the Unix. So Unix is a multi-user environment where a single server will be there and different multiple clients can be attached with a single server. So these Unix is mostly used in the web servers, means the different servers where the websites are hosted. So the Unix operating system is used for managing those web servers. Next is the Linux. So Linux, which we have just seen, that these are the open source operating system, and these are also multiple multi-user operating uh, systems, and they can be used on web servers as well as on the supercomputers. Example of this, which is Bharat operating system solution, that is BOS. This is also a version of the Linux and it is developed by the CDEC India. Clear? So this is the organization in India which works in the field of advanced computing and supercomputing. So this is developed by the BOS operating system is developed by the CDEC. Clear? So this was the revision of few of the parts of chapter 1. The others are the mobile operating system. So from the coming class we will continue the revision of few important topics, then we will move to the next chapter. So read and revise these things. If you have any doubt and confusion, we will discuss in the coming online class. Thank you.